Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Now I'm sure many people seen the news of yesterday's game showcase, with many not happy with the games that was announced, which I wasn't expecting too much to come from it, seeing as the creator said it was only supposed to have 34 big titles to be announced in a 2-hour stream. So let's break down every title that got announced, and at the end I'm gonna give my review, how the review went in my eyes and what I didn't see. The first title was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I was surprised to see because we haven't really seen much news about the remake. We haven't really heard anything about it. It's been pretty quiet, but after the announcement last month as the project switched hands back to the original development team that made it back in 2003, that it's still in the concept stage. So they probably put this game out to give us something to wait on while we hear about more news about this remake. This one is supposed to be side-scrolling, which is pretty different from the 3D format we've been used to. But we got a release date this time, so I'm pretty sure this title will ship on time because it's not as huge as the original format. The release date for this game is January 18th, 2024. It's no big surprise they started the showcase off with a huge title as Mortal Kombat 1, finally giving us a good look at what the story was going to be like, plus cameos from the original fighters that you can use to build your combos. So there's more side pieces but not playable. We got a good look at the fatalities going into this. I wasn't as hyped because it seemed to be the same story but told differently, but it's a different timeline, like Sub-Zero and his rival are now brothers. So I suggest keeping an eye on this game because they said over the next couple of months they're going to be dropping more information on it. We did get a release date for September the 19th, 2023. They followed up with Path of the Exile 2, which going into this, they mentioned that it's been 2 years since they've really seen any information. But honestly, I was kind of disappointed by this game because it felt like more of a short clip. You know, after a 2-year hiatus, you feel like you want to come back and really show what you've been working on, and it really doesn't feel like they did that with this game. But they did announce that they will be having their own showcase, so I'm guessing this is where they will be showing more information on this game. That showcase is actually scheduled for next month, July the 28th, so hopefully you check that out if you're interested in Path of the Exile 2. We got a good look at what the first collab is going to be for Street Fighter 6. There's been a lot of major hype surrounding this game, even tried to demo it myself. So this is a major year for Street Fighter fans with Street Fighter X Exo Primal with a release date of fall 2023. So if you want to get that DLC, I would suggest keeping your eyes around the Twitter or just checking it out. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I didn't really care too much for it. I thought the game was pretty nice, but this DLC was kind of whack in my opinion. I really think they just used it to kind of promote that game because the game Exo Primal is actually about to come out. So check that game out too. Dead by Daylight made a swift announcement for Nicolas Cage. They kind of showed off some gameplay, but to be honest, I mean, I feel like if they're gonna show off gameplay, they could at least show off his perks, and I feel like I didn't see nothing of that, no information about a release date, so maybe this one is a little bit more farther out. But if you're a big fan of Dead by Daylight, I would suggest just following their page and just keeping an eye out for when that release date might drop. Now, this is our only VR announcement, I guess, for this showcase, which was Crossfire VR. I'm gonna be honest, like, it feels like a lot of the games at the beginning of the showcase kind of felt like they were just previously announced and just showing like maybe 30 seconds more of new gameplay. And I just feel like if this showcase was going to be really good, it needed to show off new stuff, or at least if it was going to be previous stuff, go into more depth of what, you know, the game was going to be about, or if it was no information about it, to showcase more. And I feel like this showcase really lacked that. And that's what kind of left a distaste for me. But I mean, Crossfire, if you have a VR and that's something that you might be interested in, you have the gameplay on the screen, I would check it out. I mean, I don't know, it's not a lot of hardcore good VR games out there right now in the market. I mean, they are, you know, there's a couple good ones, but it ain't nothing that you can like play long term, you know what I mean? So I would definitely check that game out. They got a release date for August 2023. We got a first look at the gameplay for Remnant 2. It's supposed to be a fun game where you can play co-op with up to 2 friends, killing waves of enemies and terrifying boss battles. This title actually releases next month, so I'm sure the next couple of weeks they will be dropping more information about it, with the release date of July the 28th. Now, Sonic wasn't on my bingo sheet this time around, but at first glance I thought it was Sonic Generations Remake, which it kind of looks a little bit like it, but it was Sonic Superstars, a new spin on the classic format. But the cool thing about this title is you can play the whole campaign up to 3 players local co-op. It's gonna be a little bit of an L if it's no online. I didn't see anything about it online anything, but I did see something about local player co-op. It's a release date of fall to 2023. The developers behind Genshin Impact announced not technically a new title, but a console port of one of their titles of a mobile game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't lie. I almost cut out majority of the mobile games. It's a couple games that literally got cut from this list because I was just like, hell no, I'm not wasting my time on them. I'm gonna be honest with you. But Honkai Stars Rail for the PlayStation 5. It's a turn-based combat, tactical-based combat, whatever you want to call it. But it got a release date of Q4 of 2023. I don't really know. I'm not really a big fan of the gacha games. I was a big fan of Genshin Impact. I did like that game a little bit, but I feel like a lot of people might pick it up and then might try it, or they might not. If it's free to play, people are going to jump on it and try the game out. Now, this next title I'm kind of hyped for. It's a spin of Pinocchio's story with the lies of P. If you don't know much about this game, it's set in a world where puppets have taken control, leaving Pinocchio to put it back in place. It's heavy elements from Souls, but the cool thing is they dropped a demo, so you can already give this game a try, see if it's worth it for you. At the time of this recording, I haven't played the game. You probably gonna see me playing the game now on screen, but as I'm recording this right now, I haven't touched the game, so I don't know if it's really good or not. I'm gonna let you know a little bit after, maybe ask me in the stream or something. But the release date for this game is September the 19th, 2023. On to the next title with Sandland from the creators of Dragon Ball Z. I haven't heard much about this anime, so it's something I'm gonna have to check out. Sadly, we didn't get a release date for this title, but I'm seeing some early gameplay here, so it definitely gives players something to look forward to about what the concept might be. I'll have to be keeping my eye on this one, and it's by Bandai Namco. I'm gonna be honest, bro. They just be dropping games out the ass. Like, they just be dropping anything. If it's an anime, they'll give it a game and they'll drop it. I just want to know if it's gonna be good, but it's from the creators of Dragon Ball Z, so you gotta give it a chance. But like I said, no release date. On to the next one. It seems every year Amazon is trying to take a new swing at the MMO scene with their new title Throne and Liberty. Honestly, it seems a little bit different from their previous titles. Being able to switch forms on the fly is kind of interesting, so I might have to try this one out. With features of PvP and PvE, they also announced a tech testing for people who wanted to try the game out. So if you're interested, I would suggest signing up for it. I don't have a link in the description for it. You probably gotta just look online for it. But check the game out if that's something that you're really interested in. If you're a fan of medieval fantasy games, this next title might be for you. With Warhaven with 2 teams up to 16 players, this game really reminds me of the Ubisoft title For Honor. It gives me a little bit of that vibe, but it gives me maybe free to play vibes with it. So I mean, I don't know, you might want to check it out. If you like For Honor, it might give you a little bit of that, but I don't know, you got to really check this game out. It got a release date for fall of 2023, so I would just keep my eye out on the game, see some gameplay on it, let them review it a little bit and let the game sit for a while. And if it's something that they putting good updates into, and they really updating the game and updates are actually good and worth it for the community, then I would suggest checking the game out. It couldn't hurt to try. This next title might end a couple friendships with Party Animals, a new take on the Gang Beast type of gameplay, but with animals. I don't really know how good the game will be, or what features they will add later in the line, but this seems like a new title for them, a new studio. It seems like I looked up on Steam. I didn't see nothing on Steam. They might have games on other platforms, but from my knowledge, I didn't see it now. If I do find something, I'm gonna put it on screen. But they do have a release date for September 20th, and it's 2023. Now for this next trailer, I feel like it didn't do the game justice about what the context of the update was about to be about. I mean, I feel like they'd even got like the trailer got cut short, like they was about to say something and then just switched to a whole nother game. So from the context of the trailer that I got and what I looked up online, and they have an improvement to parkour. It's supposed to be scarier and darker nights, but it's also supposed to be a Walking Dead collab. But I feel like that was kind of unmentioned. I guess you're supposed to just see the bat and automatically assume Walking Dead. But if you're not a Walking Dead fan, or you never really heard of the game, or know the character who has that bat, you probably wouldn't know what the hell was going on. So it's no release date for this. And even when I looked it up online, a lot of people that are Dying Light fans are pretty much clowning this update. So I don't know. I would check it out. I don't know. I'll let them, release more footage on it, more gameplay on it, and then I would suggest checking it out at that point. We got another look at Crash Tag Team Rumble, which is a 4v4 team-based game where you have to work together to defend your base and capture key points on the map. The game will feature seasons, so it will be, I guess, every new season is going to be a new character, a new map, a new power, and limited time modes. With the release date of June 20th, I'm gonna be honest, I thought this game was gonna flop. I'm gonna just straight out say it, because a lot of games like these, they come in with one mode and then they expect that they will be given months on top of months to just slowly drop modes that should have been in the game since day one. So I'm gonna have to see what this game launched with before I can recommend it, but it comes out the end of this month, so we should be seeing some more information about this game. We finally got another look at Alan Wake 2, giving us an idea how the two character stories will, how those two stories will blend. Something cool they mentioned in the showcase was there's no right way to play this game. So if you wanted to play Alan's side all the way through, you could. If you wanted to play the other girl's side all the way through, you could. It's totally up to you. You can you can switch between them. They said it's almost like two standalone experiences, so it's definitely a game I would suggest picking up with the release date of October the 17th 2023, which is pretty much going to be a big month for gaming, it seems like, because it's another announcement in this showcase that also has that same date. Now this next title was a nice follow-up to the original Warhammer 40,000 and Space Marine 2. Actually, we got a good look at the gameplay with the fully co-op campaign, which is one of my favorite ways to play. Also, we got a nice look at the collector's edition statue with a release date of this winter. I am a big fan of Warhammer. I played one of their other games, but they're dropping a lot of games from them, so it's definitely worth checking out. Yes, Your Grace Snowfall is a cool indie title where you decide the fate of your kingdom, where you choose how you want to rule, whether you want to be a merciful king or evil king. It's totally up to you. There is no release date for this title, which is kind of weird, but you can wishlist it on Steam right now. So you can wishlist it, and then whenever he drops something, you'll be notified about it. John Carpenter is a name I didn't think I would hear in the showcase, with Toxic Commando, fighting waves of zombies with your vehicles, giving an 80s vibe. You could do it with friends, so it's a lot of cool stuff. I'm seeing a lot of different cool vehicles. You can shoot outside the car. It's coming next year, so I'm assuming this is really early footage. I mean, it looks really janky. I mean, like, if you're going to show off some gameplay, I feel like you should show off the best, but they showing early footage. They could at least be like, all right, this is early footage and this is just what it's looked like beforehand. But right now, I don't know if it's enough to this game to give it, fullness to keep playing it long term. It might be a game where people drop it and they might play it for a month and then drop it. But, it's a lot of cool music. Maybe the cool music might make you stay around. We also got a new look at Baldur's Gate 3's newest character. This game has been in beta for a good period of time, but every update just makes the game better and better. They add new characters, new updates. If you're a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons, this game is definitely plays like that. You have choices, and the game is probably mad long as hell, but the only thing about the game right now is that it's not fully done until it's fully released. It's like you can play the game now in its current state, but the game is not fully done. So if you want to play the game when it's fully done, check the game out August the 31st 2023. But right now it's like $60, and $60 for a game that's not finished is kind of wild. So I haven't picked the game up. I've been wanting to, but the game is still never fully released. We finally got a release date for Spider-Man with some new information on how Venom is going to play a part in the story. They already confirmed that Eddie won't be playing Venom in this version, so there's a lot of major surprises to be coming up with this game. And this game also releases October the 17th 2023. The only thing I didn't like about this game is the collector's edition. I noticed that if you get the collector's edition, which is like $200, like $230, let me just state that first. It comes with a display case, but you get a digital copy of the game. You don't get a physical copy, which I think is kind of an L, because it's like, if I'm paying $200, so that's $200 for pretty much just a statue, to be honest. I mean, unless the game is 60, factor in the game. Minus the game, it's still kind of high. So if you want the collector's edition, just know that's the price of that. And I think the digital deluxe edition or the deluxe edition is $80, and I think the regular edition is just $60. But like I said, October the 17th 2023. Now this next game, I'm surprised it even made it on the showcase. It's called Power World, which is, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna call it how it is. It's a straight ripoff of Pokemon. I'm just straight. It's not like a straight ripoff, but it's ripping it off like hell. And it's multiplayer, so that could be cool. Open world survival. You can collect pals, which is I guess I'm gonna call them Pokemon. They fight, build, and farm for you. It's the release date of January of next year, so that's also a fat ass L. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say to avoid this one. This is the only time I'm gonna say avoid it. It's Pokemon with guns, man. That lets you know what you're getting yourself into. Just go ahead and avoid this one. I mean, if this is something that you might be interested into, you know, I would suggest checking the game out and let it drop. Let people play it first and let them take that L for you. If the game is, they say it's good and you see like the gameplay, then buy it. But don't just buy the game because it looked good, because you're gonna catch that L after, because you open the game up and if it's brand new, you can't take it back. So just know that. It's been a long time since we've seen Lord of the Rings at a showcase. With Lord of the Rings Return to Mora, players will join forces to survive, craft, and build in its crazy multiplayer with the release date of fall 2023. So I would suggest checking this game out. I forgot who the developers are. I might put them on screen, but this game might be lit. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a Lord of the Rings game in like forever, so definitely check this game out. It seems to be a big year for Final Fantasy fans with Ever Crisis. This will be a mobile port only, so don't expect it for console players. It's only for iOS and Android. There is no release date, but there is a beta going up for it, so I'm guessing they're going to let people play the game first and give it a go. I don't know if it's going to be free to play or on cost. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do because it's the mobile market, so I'm guessing it's going to be geared towards free to play. So that could be pretty cool, but I wonder what they're going to do with that if it's free to play in that market. But you can currently sign up for the beta, I believe so go check that out. I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw this game, I thought it was Yakuza. I thought it was like, oh wait, they're bringing Yakuza back. I got a little hype. I was about to say, like, okay, maybe we got 3 to 4 big games, you know, just maybe one of them, you know. But it was actually Like a Dragon. I've never really played Like a Dragon before. I thought it was like turn-based. I think one of them is turn-based, but this one is Like a Dragon Gaiden, a man who erases his name, with the release date of November the 9th, 2023. So if that's something I mean, it looks like it has Yakuza style combat though, so it might be cold. So I would suggest checking it out, you know, wait for them to drop some more gameplay on it, or maybe drop some like full gameplay so you can get a really idea about what they, you know, what you really getting, you know what I mean? So I would suggest doing that first. If you're a fan of Under the Sea Adventure, this game might be for you. From the publishers that brought you Detroit Becomes Human, you have Under the Waves. Feels like a small indie title, but this is narrative driven, so it might be kind of cold. I mean, if they got the story driven from, you know, Quantic Dream, it might be kind of cold, I'll be honest with you. But the release date is for August the 29th, 2023. So I would suggest really checking this game out. I need to see full gameplay. Sometimes they only show you clips, and then you think of that like, okay, this game might be cold, and you see full gameplay and that shit booty, you know what I mean? So you got to really see the full gameplay before you pull the trigger on it. Surprisingly, there was only one farming sim mentioned in the showcase, which I feel like was a running joke on the Nintendo showcase because they had like 1,000 of them. They did it was a while back, but Faith Farm originally was on the Nintendo Switch. I think it was only supposed to release there, but now it's releasing on the Switch and PC. So the PC release date, I believe so, is September the 8th, 2023. So I would suggest checking this game out if you're into farm sim games. And it might be a nice cozy game, you know, to play on your Steam Deck. It might look like a good Steam Deck game, you know what I mean? I would check it out there. We got a chance to get another look at Wayfinder, the exclusive PlayStation and Steam MMO game that's about to come out. It's been early access, so they've been doing some early testing and let people try the game out, and they've been going back fixing some things, and it's about to go early access, and it's supposed to be coming this summer. No official release date for this title, so I would just be keeping my eyes out on this title if that's something that you're interested in. I'm pretty sure they have a YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to them, and then, you know, when they start dropping gameplay or showing more footage, you could be the first one to know about it. Now, the last 2 titles are kinda feel a little bit more indie based. So I'm gonna quick fire them so we can get to the big reveal of the showcase. And the first title was Space Trash Traveler. It's an open world sandbox where you can craft, build, and fight your way across space. It got no release date for that title, but you can see a little bit of gameplay on the screen. Game looks a little interesting. I can't lie, I can't even pronounce this next game. I'm not even gonna say it. Looked pretty cool from the trailers though. Having the ability to time shift and fighting enemies has a cool concept, but no release date either for this one. So you're gonna have to keep your eye out. Like I said, following their socials is probably the best way to keep up with games nowadays. I have about 20 games that I've wish listed and I'm following that are nowhere near coming out, but I have them followed because I know I'm gonna forget about them 2-3 years from now, and they're gonna come out, and I want to keep my eyes on them. So those are the two games, and on to the big reveal. Now, the last big game was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. A lot of people were talking about this game and thinking it was never really going to get a release date, or maybe they was just holding back on it. I mean, I know they already have plans to drop another Final Fantasy, I think sometime this month or next month, I believe so, or in the next couple of months. I believe there is a Final Fantasy big title coming out. They showed a brand new gameplay. I know a lot of people are tired of seeing 7, but honestly, I feel like they delivered on every version they released, so I have high hopes for this game. Sadly, it's going to be only on PlayStation 5. I wish it was coming to PC, or it's probably going to come to PC 2 to 3 years after. A little pissed off about that, but it's coming out early 2024. So if that's a title you really want to be, you got a PS5 and a title you like, I would suggest checking it out. Honestly, okay, it's time to give my afterthoughts of the whole showcase and how I've kind of felt about it. Honestly, I go into these showcases thinking I'm getting E3 level quality. Even though showcases are like this are better than nothing, I do miss the days of big reveals when all companies came together at the same time and, you know, pushed out all their releases. But I believe that time changes everything, and we're not in the same age where games goes, you know, unannounced and then no leaks and you don't never hear anything about it, and they just, you know, drop a trailer like, wow, I didn't hear nothing about this game. A lot of games nowadays are getting leaked, are getting shown, are getting talked about years before they're announced. They're already being talked about, the rumors, and you have insiders that are inside these companies that are already leaking these games out. So it's a lot of games that I know about that, like GTA, for example, is a cold example where we already knew this game was in development and no one really knew anything about it. But now that it's leaked, it puts a lot of pressure on them to now deliver a really good product. But they, you know, Rockstar, they let them sit back and let them cook. You know, 10 years, that's cooking. But like I said, showcases nowadays are going to be like this going forward. We're not in that same day and age where, you know, it's like E3 and you have all the developers dropping their titles at once. Now every company is doing their own thing, doing their own showcase. I kind of do miss having a combined thing, because then it felt like, wow, we got a lot of good games coming out. Now it's like, I gotta watch a showcase on Monday, I gotta watch a showcase on Tuesday, I gotta watch one on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, because it's 1,000 showcases and they all sprinkling their games around where it could be one big showcase. But I kind of understand it. You know, you want to have your games reach a higher level, your players, and maybe that's just the way to go. But it's just sad to see that we're not going to be getting more E3 level reveals anytime soon. But I hope everyone really enjoyed this video. It's a new kind of flow for me, not my normal commentary, but I wanted to give a recap of the event and how I felt about it. And honestly, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't perfect though. It wasn't like top tier quality. It wasn't A quality. It wasn't B. It was more like a C for me, because a lot of these games we already knew about. A lot of these games were, okay, you know, we announced this game 2 years ago. Let me show you 30 seconds. Like, come on, man, what's up with you? And then it's like Nicolas Cage, no perks. You don't show no perks at all. So you just show me gameplay of a guy walking around the forest. Like, bro, what's up with this man? It's just like stuff like that just kind of make me be like, okay, you know, a lot of these games were shown at last year's reveal and they're really not showing anything new. They come in to just talk about, okay, well, we added 2 new features. And it's like, bro, why you even at the showcase for if you're going to be doing that? You know what I mean? You got to come with some heat. And this showcase was not heat. And it's tough because the guy that's hosting this was clowning E3, you know, clowning E3 for killing themselves. But I mean, the rate that he's going to be in that same boat. It's just, it's tough, man. I really hope that showcases they coming correct and they coming to deliver. But I will be seeing everyone on the next one. Peace out.